All right, let's gather some UFOs. On the floor here, I've got a few that I brought up from downstairs. We're gonna go through all of them painstakingly in a minute, but for now, let's go get all of the ones that I shoved in a closet when I did my craft room redecoration. All right, here we are in my guest room, which we, believe it or not, recently reorganized. And I used all of the extra space in my closet after reorganization to store just UFOs. Oof. Okay, so I have dredged up all of the UFOs to my knowledge that I have in my possession. All of these have been in my guest room closet since I cleaned out the craft room. I found most of them in here or downstairs when I was reorganizing this room. There's a lot, I know. There's a lot that's been there for a very long time, and they need to be dealt with. These are all things that are recent UFOs. You might even call them whips, but for now, I'm gonna consider these UFOs from now on. I'm dredging them all up, and I'm, gathering all of my UFOs because it is my goal to eliminate them all by the end of this summer. This is super ambitious, but that's kind of how I do things. My goal is to deal with all of these by the end of summer. A lot of them I'm going to want to finish. A lot of them I'm going to want to frog. Some of them just need tiny touch-ups like, edging or elastic thread to make the neck or the sleeves fit better. Some of them are going to be really time-consuming, but I mentioned it in a previous video. I'm kind of at a breaking point with these. I've got too many. They're starting to take up too much space in my house and in my brain, and I would like that space back on both fronts. So I'm going to deal with them. Today, I'm going to sort them all. I'm going to state my intentions for them. It is today, June 17th, and I hereby declare all of these UFOs, even things that are quite recent whips. My goal is to have everything here in this room dealt with, either finished or frogged or donated, what have you, by, I think my deadline is going to be by Rhinebeck. I'm going to Rhinebeck for the first time this fall. I'm planning on going with my mom. It's in the second week of October, and I was planning on, not buying yarn for the rest of the summer anyway. That's what I did last year. I kind of got to a point where I was like, whoa, I've bought too much yarn for now. I've got a lot to deal with. Why don't I try not to buy any for a period of time? Last year, my period of time was 100 days because I had an easy deadline. I kind of thought I need 3 months to take a break from this and cool off. About 3 months from then was my vacation. So I figured if I make it to vacation, I made it past 100 days. When I come back, I can start buying yarn again. And I actually got to a really good place with it. I didn't start buying yarn right away. I kind of broke the habit, and I obviously eventually did buy some again, but I'm kind of at the same place I was last year. I've recently bought a ton. I splurged on a couple things online. I went to the Central New York Fiber Festival. If you saw that haul video, you know I got a lot there. If you saw the second episode of my podcast, you know that when I went on my big road trip, I stopped at a bunch of local yarn stores and I brought a lot home from that. I've made a ton of new additions to my stash lately, and I think it's time to work through some of it before I move forward and continue, acquiring yarn. So for now, this summer, my goals are don't buy any more yarn and deal with all of my UFOs. In my head, I've been kind of referring to this as UFO summer. I like the idea of a period of time with a set goal. I don't want to think of it as a deadline, but it's a goal. I have all of these things that I can accomplish, and it's going to feel so much better to have them out of my life and out of my anxious brain, and to have the finished objects for some of them. I'm not necessarily looking forward to doing it, but I'm looking forward to having done it. So let's go through some of these, and then later I can talk more about my kind of intentions for how to get this done over the summer. So, well, this one is easy. This is a sweater that I made. I've never worn it, sadly. It's a cardigan I made last year. Forgive me, I don't remember the pattern. I know it's made out of We Are Knitters petite wool in marshmallow. And okay, this one was a sad story. Was it my gauge? I don't know. Maybe I didn't check my gauge. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I made this way too large, and I intentionally felted it down a little bit just to make it a more appropriate size. I don't think it's a bad thing. I still kind of like it. I think it would still be a very nice winter garment. Super heavy and thick now. No breathability at all now that it's felted down a little. But the neckline is like huge. Like the body is still too wide, and the neckline is so big that it's just kind of ridiculous. It doesn't stay on me. So this is one that I definitely want to add some sort of elastic thread to. This is 1,000,000,000 degrees. Oh my goodness. It's a hot day today. This was not a good idea. You can see here that the neck is super stupid wide. So I'm hoping to use some elastic thread to kind of cinch that up a little bit, make it more wearable. Oh, definitely not wear it for like 6 months though. My goodness. This one, I don't really know what to do with. I might donate it. Honestly, I love this yarn. It's made from Lion Brand's jeans. Lion Brand jeans, which I've used a ton of in all different colors over the years. I really enjoy it. I don't know what I don't like about it. I don't know. The fit just doesn't work very well for me. It's super long. I can't remember what pattern I made it out of, but I'll put it up so you can see. It's just not my favorite fit. I don't know. I find that I like never wear it, but there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. Maybe my mom would like it. I'll offer it to my mom before I just donate it. It kind of seems like something she would wear, but I think this one, although not a UFO, was kind of sitting in my wardrobe making me feel guilty, so I'm gonna pass that one along. Okay, Miss Annie, excuse me. Thank you. Okay, this bin definitely has a lot of festering UFOs that have been around for a long time, and a lot of them I don't even know what it is. I have to decide what to do with this right now. I think it's odd, certainly. Oh, you know what these are? I made a dress a few years ago to attend a wedding, and I was trying to do a crochet overlay for the bodice, and then I sewed the dress, but then I ended up having issues and having to change my entire idea and not being able to use the crocheted bodice. So I think these are both attempts at that crochet bodice. This one's actually not bad. I don't know if I would wear it, but maybe. It's kind of cute. Oh, there's no stretch though. It's tight at the waist. It's kind of weird it doesn't fit me. Maybe I'll donate this because I think this would look really cute on somebody who's a bit smaller than me. I think this was supposed to be some sort of sweater or cardigan. It's just made out of acrylic. I think it's Karen 1 pound or Lion Pound of Love or something. This is going to be a get rid of it, probably frog it. I think this is going to be a frog. This one's embarrassing. So in 2020, I, as many people, had a lot of extra time on my hands, and I decided to really lean into my new knitting hobby, and I purchased a ton of Lion Brand woolies because I decided to make my entire family Harry Potter, Mrs. Weasley style sweaters for Christmas. And I was nearly successful. I made one for my sister, I made one for my mom, I made one for my husband, and I got halfway through mine and couldn't finish by Christmas. So on Christmas Eve, I was like hanging around with my family, and I finished just the body. I actually like did the embroidery and seamed together the sides kind of ahead of time, and I'm not sure if you could tell in these pictures, but I just kind of hid my arms because mine wasn't finished and everybody else's was. That was 2 years ago. I still didn't even finish them for last year. Last year I made another one for my sister's fiance, so now we all have one, but I can't wear mine. So that's definitely on my to finish list so I can fit in with the rest of my family. I'm pretty sure I even got like halfway through one of the sleeves and I just never wrapped. I mean, like by the time I got to Christmas, I was pretty burnt out on making these, right? I had just made 3 full sweaters of the same pattern over the course of like maybe 6 months. And then I was like in the immediate aftermath of Christmas was not about to just go continue making a 4th one for a while, apparently. So this needs to be the first one in the finish pile, I guess. If we're talking about stuff we're going to finish, there's a lot over here that I'm definitely going to finish. So this one I've mentioned before on my podcast. This is my jute stitch blanket, throw blanket that I want to put here in my craft room. It kind of matches the color scheme of the craft room. Definitely going to finish this. I even worked on it a couple times this week already, but that's just something I want to step up on a little bit. This one, oops, I guess this is here as well. I can show this piece because this panel is finished. This is my Yorkville wrap made from Diablo mohair from Hobie. Making this for my sister's wedding, which is this Labor Day. So definitely planning on finishing that this summer. Certainly before Rhinebeck, because I need it about a month before Rhinebeck. This one is my Honey Bob cardigan. Also something I've discussed on the podcast before. This one is kind of a slow one for me. I'm enjoying working on it. I might not have this particular piece stick to the October deadline, just because I don't want to rush through it. But, you know, if I get through a lot of this other stuff, I have a feeling that this is going to be the UFO that I'm actually most excited to work on and I'm enjoying the most. So this one might just get done because of the selection I'm going to give myself. Got this guy, talked about this recently on the podcast. It's the, the name of it is in German and the pattern is something along the lines of the German version of the tank top with, it just describes the garment. I don't know what it's called. This is my cotton German tank top that I'm making for myself that doesn't have a name. That one does not require a lot more work and should finish up pretty quickly. And I should finish it because I would actually like to wear it on days like today when it's super duper hot. This is my Osgood slipover from Joan Ho. 100% intend to finish this one. I love it. It's just for warmer weather than this, so I kind of lost steam on it, but absolutely in the to finish pile. Also in the to finish pile, this project bag I started making myself that is like 90% done. I've already finished crocheting the body of it. I just wanted to sew a lining in and make an I-cord to cinch it up. So pretty far along on that one, but again, I stalled out because I got bored with it. This is a scarf I started for my husband, and it's like a perfectly good pattern. The yarn is coming along really well. I think it's basic stitch. The color of this matches a hat that I made that he really loved and wears all the time in the winter. I wanted to make him a scarf because he doesn't have a scarf that he wears. He's one of those macho-y guys that kind of like never wants to wear enough cold weather gear, which is ridiculous because his wife is a knitter and he has so much of it. Regardless, I tried to make him this scarf. This amount was painstaking for me. It is so boring. It's not even a good one to have on TV. I don't know why I chose this because I hate the stitch repeat, but I'm halfway through, so I'm going to finish it for him. Will do it. This one I made a long time ago. This is definitely a frog. I don't know why I did this. It was very early in my knitting career, and I liked the colors together. I chose a terrible pattern for it because I was choosing it just based on the quantity and weight of the yarn and not necessarily what the yarn would be good for. I finished it. I've never worn it. It's been in my wardrobe for years because this is absolutely not me. I don't wear a ton of super bright colors, certainly not bright orange. I don't really like horizontal stripes. I learned a lot from making this. That's what I'll say. I learned a lot about myself and about what I actually want and want to wear, and it's not this. So I'm going to frog this because this is some very nice yarn. I'm going to reclaim it and add it back into the stash. This is another thing that's like 90% done. This is a kit that I bought from Lion Brand. Oh, I think that would be the pattern, but it's not. It's I think it's called Faux Cable Cowl, and you knit this whole cowl exactly as is. It's done. I believe I've woven the ends in, but you have to go through after the fact, and there's some sort of like, I haven't really looked at it. I think you just kind of sew it in an X pattern to make it kind of look like cables, which I don't know if this is a great choice for me because I actually do cables, and it's far more tedious, in my opinion, to go through and add fake ones after the fact than it would be to just have knit them while I did it. But okay, this is what I chose, and it's mostly done. In the to finish pile, I will. There's other things in this bag that are not this project. This is definitely to frog. I don't know. I started something here. Didn't like it. These yarns don't really work well together. I was just trying my best based on what I had in my stash. I don't like the choices I made. This is it's not worth frogging. This is going to be a pain to frog, and these are all chopped up. So sadly, this is probably trash. Maybe this could be some sort of like fall placemat, right? If I weave the ends in, I don't know. It's another one I'm going to see if my mom wants. She's big on decorating for fall and stuff. So that means, unfortunately, this is all the yarn I had chosen for that project. A whole bunch of different types. That's going back into stash. Oh my god, guys. This is nuts. This one is mostly done. I don't know why I haven't finished this. What is going on here? This is a kit from We Are Knitters. Oh my god, look how nearly done this is. What is wrong with me? I literally just have to sew the seams. It's a whole sweater that I just need to sew the underarms closed. And then probably pick up stitches for a collar. Are you kidding me? I am so lazy. Obviously I'm going to finish this one. It's 90% done. What the heck is wrong with me? I'm going to have a lot of like active projects to add to my Ravelry projects that I haven't really been, because I never did the Ravelry projects when I was initially making all these things, so now I'm going to have to add them. Here's one of my Jessie stash baskets that I'm going to reclaim right now. Mine. Why? What? This is like... What am I doing? I don't know what's happening here. This is a couple things. This is... well, there's several pairs of needles in here. Okay, this was starting to be something. This is like a patch of stockinette. I don't need this. I am going to definitely frog this. I have no idea what it was going to be. It's silly looking. I'm gonna... whatever that is. It is currently attached to... It's attached to this... Oh, I know what this is. This is one of the most crucial and most horrible mistakes a new knitter can make. And that was not knowing how to knit from a hank. And I had never heard of a Swift or a yarn ball winder, and I tried to just have this hank open on my couch while I was knitting. I actually got really far. I'm surprised. There's like several panels in here of whatever this is. I have no idea what the pattern is. There's some cables on here. This is a terrible choice of yarn for cables because it's just odd. Like, you can't see them. You can't tell, right? You can kind of tell here. Look, there's like some lace work. Oh my gosh. This is sad. This is still totally going to be a frog because I have no idea what it is and I don't really need it anymore. But how funny. At least I can wind this up properly. Oh, this is my first Tunisian project. I'm going to frog this. It feels really nice. It's so soft. It's so simple, and the edges are so awful because it was my first project that I did not get the starting or ending edges very well. But I'll frog this. This is cute. I have an interchangeable Tunisian crochet hook on here that I've probably missed since it's been missing up here. Oh, a lot more of that too. Oh, I know what this is. I'm not keeping this because this made me mad. I had so much trouble using this yarn. I don't know what I was thinking. So this is Wool-like. It's like a Michael's store brand yarn, and I got a bunch of it, again, during lockdown in 2020 when I was kind of just ramping up my yarn hobbies because I didn't really know what else to do with myself. I actually got really far on this, but I remember getting so angry and frustrated because that yarn would not frog. It was like coming out in yarn barfs in horrible tangles that I couldn't undo, and I was spending actual hours just trying to like salvage skeins of that yarn. I got this far, which is sad. It's too bad it's not 2005 because this would have rocked over a sundress. But now it's kind of useless. Maybe a child? No, children aren't so big. Either way, this has got to go. I can't even frog it because I remember what frogging this is like, and it's miserable. Here's a hank of, I love this yarn. This color is so citrusy, and it's actually called something citrusy, but it's got grapefruit and orange and lemon, and those are the good citruses. I hate lime. This is called Citrus Squeeze. It's an Knitology sock from Knit Crate. I know what I started with this. Oh, is this it? No. I don't know where the rest of this whip is, so we'll come back to this. That's one I would like to finish if I can find it. So this, I got mostly through. Oh, it's a nice texture. Maybe I should finish this one. It's Lion Brand True Boo. And I don't remember what the pattern is. It's a kit. I remember it's a kit that I bought. Like, I've got a lot done. I think I've got like all of it done except maybe, I think I need one more sleeve. The sleeves were lace and nothing else was lace, and I think that's kind of why I stopped because I wasn't enjoying this part. But I'm pretty sure I've done all the panels of the body and I just need a sleeve. Or it's not True Boo, it's New Boo. They're like twins that you can never tell apart, you know what I mean? I am going to tentatively put this in the finished pile because I think I would like the finished product if I had it. This has needle. Okay. This is definitely frog. I think I started this one day because I just had the itch to cast something on, and that's the day I worked on it, and then ever since it's been in purgatory. So that's a frog. This one is the leaf stitch or leaf sweater. It's by the Knit Stitch. It's a lot of her patterns are in the leaf stitch. I think this is called the leaf sweater. This was my travel knit last year when I went on vacation in September. I got much of it done on that trip and since then, but I've just never quite finished. So there's a panel. I don't know if it's front or back. Here's another one. I don't know if it's front or back. They might be identical. I'll have to read the pattern. And then a portion of sleeve. This is in the cotton from We Are Knitters. It's really nice. Oh God, this is one. I wish I hadn't left this like this. My puppy, when we first brought her home, I mean, probably still, I've just gotten better about dealing with it. My puppy has eaten a lot of my knitting needles and knitting supplies, and this is one of the casualties. There's no needle on this end, and this one is just demolished. And it crushes me when it's these vintage ones, because these vintage nylons are my favorite, and there's a finite number in the world. And my sweet, loving, vicious monster baby has eaten so many of them. I can't deal with it. But got a lot of this left. I just got to finish a sleeve and a half and sew it together. That'll be a nice one to have done. This is the one I was looking for. This is made out of the citrus squeeze. I got started with it. Ooh, look at that. You can kind of, boop. Well, it's not that low. This is, I can't remember what the pattern's called. It's so cute though. It's a linen stitch with a fingering, so it's like super stretchy, lovely fabric. This isn't this long because it's not a halter. It actually attaches to other straps in the back once you finish them so that it's a tank top. I do, need to work on it though because there's a line at right at the waist that's like slip stitched, and as I recall, there's not enough stretch there and it's too tight and it made it uncomfortable to wear. The fabric otherwise was perfect, except that was a problem for me. But this linen stitch takes so long in the fingering that I have to rip back several inches, and I think the thought of that was a little too crippling for me last time I had to deal with it. But now I do want this. I would like to have this as a finished object, so I do plan on finishing this one. This one is also embarrassing because it's basically done. I know that. It's either Wolka or Volka sweater by We Are Knitters. It's like a transparent. It's made of just mohair. Oh, these are so wrinkly. I will have to steam this. It's been scrunched in this box for a long time. All of the parts are done. All of them. Again, this is just another one that I need to just sew together. And I haven't taken the time to do so. I think it'll be really pretty. It's actually going to be a really nice fall sweater because it's mohair, so it'll be a little warmer. Ooh, I love the stretch on that ribbing. That's nice. I did a good job. Look at that. Yeah, this will be a good one to have in fall also. I think everybody probably knew this was coming because I think a lot of people have one of these. But this is my 2021 temperature blanket. Right now it's an April 2021 temperature blanket. So there's a lot that needs to be done. I chose this motif, I think wrongfully. I don't like working on it. I don't know why I chose it, but I got really far into it, so I'm committing to finishing. It's mitered squares, and every day has the high and low temperature for the day. I live in a place that has a huge range of temperatures, so I very ambitiously chose, I think it's 24 colors. It might be 30. I don't remember. A lot of colors because I did very narrow windows for each color. I wanted to show the full range of New York weather in one blanket, which, wow, what a great idea. It's a pain in the ass, and I wish I never took it on. But that said, I'm not going to frog it because I put this much work into it, and I think it would be cool if it was done, but it's going to be a lot. So here's some of the selection of colors that I've chosen. There's a lot of yarn here. This is the doozy, right? This is the one that I've been dreading the most, but it's also the one that I want most to have finished. So definitely in the to finish pile. Last box. Oh, sewing UFOs. Oh God, I don't want this. Can I just close it? Can we pretend we never saw this? Shorts that I tried to sew goofy buttons onto and I don't like it and it looks horrible, so I just need to take the buttons off and sew different buttons on. That's an easy one. Throw pillows. I was actually planning on digging these out anyway because that same puppy that is now no longer technically a puppy, but she is in her heart and in her chewing, has recently really taken to chewing on the corner of our throw pillows downstairs. So our living room throw pillows have suffered a lot of injuries lately, and I had been planning on making covers for them just to kind of give them a little makeover anyway. Now I'm thinking I really need to get on that because a lot of them are super ugly now. But I kind of just had a couple different fabrics that I was gonna mix and match for that. I had at one point started, I did make one of them in full and it's been down there with the ugly old pillows for a long time. I have a lot of piping ready for it. There's a zipper in here. I will do this. I won't be happy about it, but I'll do it. This one, I don't think I'm gonna finish because I think this one broke my heart a little bit. I tried to sew a fall skirt from this cotton. It didn't go well. I think this is, to me, something I'm gonna rip back all the stitches and iron the fabric and put it back in stash because I'm a little too soured on this one to actually try to finish it. things that need a lot of work, things that need almost no work, things that I need to frog, yarn that I need to put away in my stash now that it doesn't have a project, active whips that I'm going to keep downstairs for the time being. My goal is to deal with all of this before Rhinebeck, which I believe is the second weekend in October. I have a lot of stuff that I need to finish now, but I've got a lot of motivation right now. I'm sure that will wane as the summer goes on, but hopefully I can get enough momentum up and take care of as much of this as I can. So, since this is about dealing with UFOs, and I'm a dork, and I like a gimmick, I'm going to watch X-Files again while I do all of this. My plan is to rewatch X-Files and have UFO summer while I work through all of these many UFOs. So at the end of the summer, hopefully, I will have had my fill of dramatic 90s sci-fi, and I will also have a lot of finished objects and a lot less on my mind. So please feel free to join me. If you want to work on your UFOs this summer, tag me. So if you want to join me, work on your UFOs with me this summer, tag me on Instagram. Let's take care of this together because it could be a really productive summer for us. Subscribe to follow along with my progress on this and all of my other projects. I hope to see you around here soon and wish me luck. Bye.